Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. Jackie Cation, Laurie Kilmartin. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show. It's the Jackie and Laurie Show. The Jackie and Laurie Show.
Oh, man, you are raring to go.
Oh, my God, I'm raring to go. Laurie Kilmartin. My name is Jackie Cation.
Jacqueline Cation, hello.
Yes, Laurie Ann. What's your middle name?
Anne.
Is it?
Yes.
Why wouldn't it be?
One of the classics of
That's
the
a good one
60s.
right
Everyone's an Anne or a Beth, right? What's your middle name?
Sue.
Yes, yes.
And not Susan. Not
Yep.
even Susan. Just Sue. Jacqueline Sue Cation. Thanks for playing. Here we are. Kyle and I have flown. I have so much. You'll be happy to know I found out about Sound Exchange and Sirius XM.
Oh, spill, tell.
First of all, and I asked Dom if he would tell me. He has Blonde Medicine, right? He's got the label Blonde Medicine. He used to work at Rooftop.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Remember Dom?
Yes.
He was my favorite guy at Rooftop, quite honestly. They were all perfectly nice to me. Everyone was nice.
Yes.
Why wouldn't
Very
they
nice.
be? And but the thing is they. So I said, "Can I tell everyone?" And he said, "Tell everyone." He's like, "There's no way. Keeping this a secret is bad. I mean, what has to happen. Here's what happens. Every label." SiriusXM has a new way of doing the programming.
Right.
The labels have to fill out these sheets of what the tracks are.
Right.
And it's essentially a very straightforward kind of like, they need to know what kind of bit it is. Is it clean? Is it storytelling? Is it short? Is it long? And then tag words and all these things. And there's a spreadsheet for it. And they're like, what they need is they need the name of the track, the name of the artist, the race, or the what. I mean, literally, it asks. I think at one point it does ask for the race. I think for programming reasons.
Well, I think that's good to if they're using it to make sure they have a diverse.
If they're mixing it up, if
obviously they
they're
don't
making sure
have comedy DJs that are listening to this shit.
They're programming.
Right.
And there are 7 channels, 24 hours, and get this: none of my stuff is playing on Sirius XM.
Wow.
And none of it's playing on Sirius XM for a reason I do not blame my label, because I own all of the rights. They don't get any of the money for streaming, so they never filled anything out, because why should they? So I'm going to, But here's I was
so
told.
all the money you're already making
is just from Spotify and Pandora.
What the fuck, Jackie? You're about to.
That's what he said. He said, you have 4 albums. You should be making 10 times what you're making.
What? Oh my God.
Calm down, first of all. And then he immediately said, you are not guaranteed. And I was like, no, backpedal that. No, please do. Because he's right. Because he said, here's the thing, is it's better if the label submits it than if an individual submits it, because there's a relationship that happens with whatever. And so, and then he told me this other thing that's going to blow your mind. It was this whole thing where, so you fill it out. Get this, SiriusXM, $25 a spin. A track.
Wow.
So, like 800-pound gorilla puts out a new album every day these days, right?
Oh my fucking God.
And every day they fill out these paperwork and they submit them. And so you're not guaranteed slots, obviously, right? But if you write down it's storytelling, it's clean.
Yeah.
And and these are the topics. It's about my grandmother, and it's about her garden, and it's about the length of her hair.
Right.
And you're like, that's weird. Let's play that.
Yeah.
And so you put it into programming. And so, like right now, there's a website that you can go to find out how many times your tracks are being played. He said he goes every day and checks all of his people.
What's the website?
It's called Dog Something.
Dogsomething.com.
And you will find out in mere moments what it is called. It is Dog Star Radio. DOGSTARRADIO.com. So if you go to dogstarradio.com,
you enter your name?
Your own name.
Oh my God.
And you could find out. So they did my name while I was sitting there. And it turns out I had 4 plays in the last week or 2 weeks or something like that. And they're from JFL.
Oh.
And so I get the artist money on that. but I don't get the publisher money on it because they're the publisher.
You're a gala?
A gala.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I did a gala last year.
Right, so they're probably playing something of yours, or
so you get a partial money for that?
Yeah,
then?
you get, like, there's the way Sound Exchange works, and I'm sure the way all things work, is that there's artist royalties and publisher royalties,
right.
or label, and no one was more shocked to find out than this guy, the best guy in the world, by the way, that I own all the rights to my albums. But everyone should own I wrote the jokes.
Right.
And
well, but you had a label put out your albums,
right? And I pay for the album to be recorded. Like, I pay money for that.
So you put all that money out. You hire them to do it,
yeah,
and then you get the money later.
I hire people to do it, and then I go to the label with the finished product, essentially.
Okay, so are there labels that would just say, "Hey, we're not going to do it that way. We want
yeah, and remember, I come from a very unique space where I've been doing this 30 years.
Yeah.
So if you
tell me about it, Jackie.
Laurie, I played today on Sirius.
I did.
The Costco track I played at 4 a.m.
That's when my my grieving listeners are listening to 45 jokes.
So did you go to, is that what you did, Kyle? You just went to Dogstar Radio and you're like, Kyle's going to spend the next hour looking up all of the people that Solange's album, your album. Anybody?
We're not up yet.
You're not? Okay.
This is practice shot.
This is all right. This is practice. And yeah, and so, like, Netflix has all of these specials, and then now they have a radio station on Sirius called Netflix is a Joke, and then I found this other thing.
So Netflix gets all the publishing money?
They'll get the publishing money, and then the comics will get the other $25 each, like.
Okay.
I mean, if they 24 hours a day, that's the reason why they want 2.5 to 4 minute tracks.
Sure.
Because that's 20 tracks an hour,
right?
Not 60 tracks an hour.
Sure.
Because if you're doing 1 minute jokes, that's what the problem is, right?
Yeah.
So the longest conversation, and Dom kept apologizing. He's like, "This is a rabbit hole. I love this rabbit hole. I'm so sorry to tell you." I was like, "No, I'm soaking it up here.
Yeah.
I don't know these things."
Yeah.
And it reminded me of when my sister was telling me something very basic about business, and I said, very defensively, I'm actually considered to be pretty good at the business side as a comic. And then she just looked at me and she said, "That makes me sad that you're considered good at this." And I was like, and she said, because she wants to help people. She's a mentor. Yeah. Anyway, so, but so that's the other thing.
Do you have to pay for the 4 albums that you own the rights to? Do you have to pay the label to put that in, do that for you now?
What the label gets and the distribution people get is they get, we split the money for complete downloads, not streaming, not the other thing. And then we also split the distribution money, I believe, on YouTube.
Yeah.
Because all the 3 albums that he put out are all on YouTube. You can listen to them there too. And then I get the Spotify and Pandora money. And Amazon Prime money, I think. And then my first album is on CD Baby. So I don't know what's happening with that, quite honestly. I believe I get $100 from them every 3 or 4 months.
Oh my God.
So things are, but it's,
Jackie,
it was
I'm
fascinating.
So excited for your potential income.
My potential income could jump a great deal.
Yeah.
But this is homework that needs to be done. Almost immediately, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Just because I think it could be a great deal of money.
Yeah.
And, what?
No, I'm just observing AST, I don't think submits, because I keep checking their artists and they don't pop up.
Oh,
but,
really?
My 45 jokes was done with AST, so
That's the one that's got Costco on it?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Jonah and Jim.
Okay, so you're not seeing it for the other people?
Well, maybe because
check Bamford.
Mine is just
Bamford. She's the most I've seen so far.
Wow. Mine is fresh, like maybe, just like 2 years ago the album came out, maybe. So maybe they haven't done the backlog yet.
It takes a while. It will be. It's a rabbit hole. Right. This will steal some hours from everyone who is a nerd. They will go to Dog Star Radio and spend some quality time there.
Wow.
Here's the other thing that happened. Chad Daniels was headlining Punchline the week that because I just did this San Francisco run with Caitlin Gill to promote her album Major.
Yeah.
Which is named after her tiny dog.
Yeah.
And we get to hang out with that tiny dog, and that was a delight.
Was
God,
it?
what a
Or
nice
is that a
dog.
sarcastic?
No, this
I'm
is
trying
the
to read
greatest,
your eyes,
This is the
but your
greatest
glasses are
fucking dog in the
obscuring.
world. This is a great dog.
Okay.
Anyway, sweet dog.
Yeah.
And it was me, her, Caitlin Gill, and Chris Fairbanks, and we did
That's a
3
great show.
one-nighters, and it was an amazing show, quite
Yeah.
honestly. And I haven't got to see those guys do stand-up in a long time, and longer sets too, because Caitlin hosted, did 10. Brought me up, I did 25, and then brought Chris up, he did 25, and then she did 30 to 40 at the end.
Oh, cool.
And we did DNA in Santa Cruz.
Oh yeah. Oh, you guys, that was one of your shows?
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, and I reversed the order to see if I could make a new closer.
Oh, cool.
Nope.
No.
Not at this time. and then we did the Verdi in San Francisco, which is a like a ballroomy kind of theater. That is a big part of Caitlin's coming up in San Francisco moment, sort of like
cool.
the zoo for you.
Right.
Yeah, and then we did this thing up in Petaluma
Yeah.
called Griffo Distillery, which is a gin joint, and that was beautiful. Mm-hmm. And then we stayed in an Airbnb where there were 3 bedrooms, and there was only Wi-Fi, cell phone access. And the first day,
That sounds horrible.
I flew to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
They drove from here. They picked me up at the airport. She timed it perfectly. We drove another 4 hours.
Oh God. From SFO.
Yeah.
To Petaluma.
Not 4 hours, maybe 2.5, 3. But it was at like 5, 6 o'clock at night.
Oh, God.
So it was bad.
Awful.
On Friday night.
No.
Thursday night. So we get to the place. We luckily don't have a show that night, so we're in a day early. I'm like, can I? Because we had to go up this mountain and I left my luggage in the car, and I'm like, I'm not.
How come you didn't fly into Oakland?
It was the same.
Yeah, but you would have been closer with Oakland. You miss some of the San Francisco traffic.
Oh, I think it was supposed to have been
Jackie.
cheaper. Whatever.
Okay.
But because I looked into it, but I couldn't figure out whatever. There must have been a reason. There's
Okay.
always some reason I don't know.
Okay.
And the like today, I was supposed to fly out at 9 a.m. and I was like, there must have been a reason I chose that. How about a dumb one? Because we were 4 hours from. We were supposedly an hour and a half, 2 hours from SFO, but then traffic caused troubles.
When you're in San Francisco, you're an hour and a half from SFO, but that's about it.
Right, there's all kinds of BS. So anyway, I picked the downstairs room because I was like, I don't want to go up one more fucking flight of stairs.
Right.
And it turns out it was the master bedroom, and it was gorgeous, and it had like this $7,000 massage chair in it.
Oh my God! We have those in the green room at Conan. We have 2 of them.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Where they massage your arms too?
Yeah, you sit. It just grabs every part of
Yeah.
your body and starts rolling all over it.
Yeah. It's amazing.
It's kind of disturbing to be at work and then look over and see a coworker just almost orgasming in a chair next to you.
I did an Instagram video that it looks like I'm literally pooping because I'm trying to talk while this thing is rolling all over me, and it's dumb. Anyway, so the shows were great. We got to see Chris and I were just watching Caitlin one night going, oh, that's a brand new signature bit. You know, it's like a bit that bit's going to be gold, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to ruin any of it, but and Chris was hilarious. I mean, it was fan-frickin-tastic to watch those guys do stand-up. So Chad Daniels was headlining the Punchline.
Yeah.
With David Huntsberger featuring, which is another fantastic show.
Yes.
And so we went out so Caitlin went to the Verdi, and Chris and I went to dinner with them. And Chad, who I know from Minneapolis and should be famous, he and I were talking, and I was telling him how Louis Lee is always like, are you doing what Chad is doing? Because you should be doing what Chad is doing.
What's Chad doing?
Chad's always, I don't know, Chad's more successful than, he's always got some iron in the...
Sure.
My album came out a little over 2 years ago. So did Chad's the same week. Chad put a new album out this year. And I was like, I didn't. and I'm not going to.
Dude,
and I'm not going to sweat it.
I am being terrorized by other people's
Success and work
and they're
ethic.
also their pacing.
Yeah.
I mean, when I did a set in the belly room on Tammy's show at the Comedy Store, and I'm driving down Sunset, and it's billboard after billboard of comics with their hours, and I can't handle it. I almost had a nervous breakdown on the way.
Don't do it. Yeah, you got to let.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's not the pace.
You're
I
happy
can,
for them, but it's you're just like, wow, what am I not doing? Right?
Right.
Because it's just this thing where you're like, I need 3 more jobs, and I guess one of them is. So we were talking about Instagram posting videos of your stand-up captioned stand-up on Instagram,
right.
And the other thing is ads on Pandora. Which you can do these ads on Pandora, and I always forget about doing ads on Pandora. Chad Daniels told me I should be doing ads on Pandora.
So what's he?
3 months before the gig,
And
then 3 weeks before the gig.
you're buying ad space?
No
ad time?
No, you can just do because I have a channel.
Yeah.
On Pandora, which is where I get all my Sound Exchange money.
Okay.
And it's the Jackie Cation channel on Pandora, and it plays my stuff, but it also plays comics that I like.
Oh, so you created this thing and you
I think
curate
so.
it?
I must have. They created it.
Okay.
And
Probably have one you don't know about.
Okay.
yeah, that's it. And so, and you can just record. If you're the artist, you can record. Hey, it's Jackie Cation. I'm going to be at Phoenix. I'm going to be in Phoenix at Stir Crazy this weekend. Come on out. Here's
Where do you record it within their
at your,
app?
yeah,
or-
within their app at the profile level,
Really?
Yeah.
And they just play it on your station?
and they play it on your station for free.
Oh.
Yep. And you do it 3 months before a gig, and you do it 3 weeks before a gig, according to Chad Daniels. And if you do the thing with the captioning of the stand up,
Yeah.
if you get enough hits, it becomes
post it on Instagram.
posted on Instagram.
Right.
Like if enough people have viewed it, like 1,500 views or
Yeah.
1,000 views or whatever, it shows up in the Instagram search under comedy.
Oh.
So he knows comics that are just road dogs like I am, right?
Yeah.
And have 100,000 followers because of they're constantly posting tiny videos of their stand-up comedy. So 19 more jobs, and then enough people will care.
Okay, so when I do captioning, it's
Yes.
very labor intensive. It's iMovie. It's,
Yeah.
like lining
I
up
spent
every
3
single-
days.
Yeah, right. Is there another way to do it that's faster?
What I've chosen to do.
Why is he laughing hysterically?
Because the other way is to pay someone.
Oh, right. That is a lot faster.
That's why it's funny.
way faster. What's your Venmo?
So I'm paying people to do some of them.
So are you taking, like, could I take an old TV set and do it?
Yeah, like my Horcrux DVD that the hour that I shot. I watched it. I pulled time code. I sent 7 clip ideas to my audio guy who does the Dork Forest, and he captured a couple of them. Told me he could write an algorithm that would make it easier in Adobe Premiere, but he has a full-time job and has not sent me that algorithm. So I spent 3 days trying to learn how to do Adobe Premiere. I did okay,
Right.
and then I sent them to someone else, and they did them for me very quickly. And then I sent that person money, and then and now I have more clips that I could put up. But as soon as I get the clip, I want to put them up. But I could stagger them. I could do it every 2 days.
Right.
And then I also have to watch the videos again, right? And like my NPR set just played again.
Live from what? Livewire.
Live from here.
Live from here. Right,
Yeah,
right,
Live from Here, which took the Garrison Keillor slot.
Yeah, right.
Which I did not know that they filmed and is on YouTube.
They film it?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check that out.
Live from Here? Do you have a Live from Here?
Yeah.
So if you have that, you can...
Well, I did it right
years
after
ago,
he
right?
took it out. Were they videotaping back then too?
Don't know. Check it out. Find
Okay.
out. So I downloaded that.
Okay.
And I don't know. So but you could take clips out of all of that.
Right.
So, but I just got a bunch of new fans because of that NPR thing. Because it just re-aired. Like I did it in March, right?
Yeah.
They just re-showed the whole show again or they just played the whole show again on NPR all weekend.
Oh, that's great.
Which was great. And then, matter of fact, last night at the gin distillery Griffo in Petaluma, several older couples came up to me to tell me that they had just heard me on NPR. And one older gentleman, had this to say: "Your comedy is so sophisticated, I wanted to fart." I was like, "That doesn't get me work, sir. Please stop saying that." But I was happy for him anyway. So, but I was psyched to see Chad Daniels. I was psyched to see David Huntsberger. I was psyched to see Chris Fairbanks and hang out with him and Caitlin Gill. Super fun. And then got to hang out with DNA again. And
That's
I liked,
great, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
a great weekend.
It was a great weekend. It was exhausting because we were just at that Airbnb and then we worked out of it. And so the Thursday was the hardest one because we were in Lagunitas.
Yeah.
Which is up.
I've never heard of it, and I'm from there.
It's by Muir Woods.
Right.
Or whatever. It's so far away. And so it was 4 hours down to Santa Cruz.
The city itself is a treehouse, and that's where you stayed.
Yes. And so 4 hours down to Santa Cruz.
Oh, God.
And then 2.5 hours back.
In one day?
Late. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But that was the bad
Guys,
day.
I'm happy to help you with some routing.
Well,
I'm happy to.
Well, because because Caitlin paid Chris and I to do this.
Right.
And we both wanted to be super supportive.
Yes.
And she couldn't, there's no affording hotels in each of these towns.
True, that's true.
Because San Francisco being what it is.
Yes.
Which is very expensive.
Yes.
And then the next day was easier because then we just went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And the day after that was even easier, Petaluma. But today, trying to get to the airport was a chore.
That's a nightmare.
It's a great story.
You see these bruises?
What?
See these bruises?
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got them. This fucking blood thinners I'm on have turned me into a day-old banana. I have a bruise at the top of my thigh that continues under the swimsuit, so it looks like I was possibly assaulted in the vagina. They're all over me. I mean, they're all over my arms and my back. If I bump into anything, I get like a deep. This is a couple days old.
Bruise.
This was like purpley red. Uh-oh.
What? A Max Fun ad.
Oh,
playing
really?
In the background. Hey, guess what? It's time for a Max Fun ad.
Oh, my God.
I'm Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smurl.
And together, we host a podcast called Still Buffering, where we answer questions like,
Why should I not fall asleep first at a slumber party?
how do I be fleet? Is it okay to break up with someone using emojis?
And sometimes we talk about bugs. No, we don't. Nope.
Find out the answers to these important questions and many more on Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages.
I am a teenager.
And I was too.
Butts. No.
But you change your mind far too many times over and over again, over and over again.
We're back.
Tell me more about your bruises. So here's the weird thing, though, is so the blood thinners, will you get used to it, or will you be able to go off of them?
for a couple months, and then I have to be on aspirin for the rest of my life.
Aspirin?
Aspirin.
Oh, aspirin.
Yes.
I was like, you have to be on Fur Families and the Fabulously Wealthy. What do you have to Aspen?
Aspen, where I probably lost an HBO special half hour.
Well, every day we lose something, don't we?
It's true.
Jesus H. Christ. Anyway, go.
You know what I realized? Okay, so I'm trying to take old notebooks, right?
Yeah.
And I'm throwing them into my First of all, Evernote drives me off the fucking wall because do you use Evernote?
Never.
Okay, I should go right.
Nevernote.
Yes.
Yes, Nevernote. Huh? Boom. I made a pun.
Because if you
I'll be over you.
yeah, I ignored it because to do you a favor because it was awful.
You're good to me. You're
but
good
you
to me.
pointed it out, and I can't. You're highlighting. You're putting
All
lipstick
right.
on something now. So what it does is like if you log into Evernote and do something and then you log in from another device, which I do all the time, sometimes it's like there's two of them, so it'll stack both files on top of each other. So now I have I have one notebook, but like there's like 3 different drafts of it, so I got to fucking print the whole thing and figure out where
everything went,
where one word was different, and Evernote panicked. I got to switch over to Google Docs, but I have so much saved there.
Right.
That's where I wrote Dead People Suck. It's all in Evernote.
The memo app on the iPhone is the only thing I use.
Yeah, but sometimes I'm on a Windows at work, or
Okay, so you got a life to lead.
I think I'll have to go to Google Docs. I mean, that seems pretty. I just don't want Google in my life. They're everywhere. I'm so angry at all of those things. I try to use smaller, more independent apps, but Jesus Christ. So I have the last 3 notebooks have been green.
Yeah.
And usually I try to alter the color.
Right?
Yeah, but it was a bad idea. I had a pink one I didn't use. Yeah, I'm like, which green? So it's annoying. That's all. It's not a great problem. It's not the biggest problem.
Right.
It's not like having bruises coming out of your vagina at the pool.
You're cruising through that notebook right there.
The other thing I was reading, I'll rewrite a bit about 60 times in one notebook.
Yeah,
yes.
Me too. Yeah.
I'm like, this whole whole notebook is for one chunk that didn't change that much.
Right. But
it did change.
But it changed enough.
And then I reread this other one from the YouTube thing I was trying to do I ended up making with my son, that thing when the cops came, and the early iterations, I was like, oh yeah.
There's lines in there.
No, there's bad lines in there. There's so many. But you could just see yourself trying. Let me try this, and then you try that for a month, and then you lose it and try another one. And
I'm transcribing my old notebook into my new notebook right now, which means I'm paging through the old notebook, and I'm
now you're moving notebook. You're not moving to anything digital you can print out.
No.
How's that help? You're just making more work for yourself later on.
Well, because it's the way I write. It feels better.
Okay,
it feels better. I know that. I know that it's a good thing to have things written. Like, I actually have paid many a new comic to transcribe different sets of mine, so that I can look and make sure that I'm not duplicating on albums and stuff.
Oh, I don't have so many albums that I don't know.
But the thing is I just realized because I ended up watching that NPR set, and I was like, oh, look what you burned that isn't on an album, and but who cares?
It's becoming a who cares.
Right. It's because it's more about bits now than about albums.
Yeah, and some people listen on the radio, and some people don't watch specials. They don't watch comedy. They listen to it. So it's different audiences.
Yeah.
I mean, if you were given a Netflix special right now, you could find an hour instantly from all the albums you have, and it wouldn't matter. Because it hasn't been on Netflix before, in my opinion, unless Netflix said something. But.
Do you know that the first Conan I did, I got an email I got a DM on Facebook from a young man who told me that he was sorry that he had heard all of those jokes before.
Oh my God.
And
what an ass.
I wrote him back and I said, did you think I was going to do new material on the first late night set that I ever did in my whole life?
Oh my God.
Hey, Banana Head. Hey, Goofus. Rufus Goofus. Anyway.
So when I was in Amsterdam, London, I decided, all right, I'm going to have my mom move out. I was looking up. First of all, I don't know how fucking people are living now. Rent is horrific.
Right.
Just in this location, like a 1-bedroom, nothing less than $1,800 for a 1-bedroom.
For a 1-bedroom.
That's her entire Social Security check right there.
Right.
And from my dad, by the way, if had she whatever,
right,
the surviving partner gets the
bigger of the two,
the bigger, right, yeah. Right. So so it's super expensive, you know, and I don't know how people are doing things. I did get an email from. Do you remember Sandra, the homeless lady?
Yeah.
Got an email.
Yeah,
things are going better.
Oh God,
she has housing. She, after a very long time and some ups and downs, she and her son and her new daughter.
Yeah.
She just had a baby.
Right.
And her daughter's father got Section 8 housing.
Okay.
Which is great. They
That
have
is
a place.
great.
Yeah.
They have housing now.
Yeah, but I mean, it was quite a journey between when we
like
last
2 years later
connected
Yeah.
to now.
Yeah.
What the email? Anyway, there's a belated happier ending.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, so I tell this to my mom. I'm like, I can't take this anymore. I need an office.
Yep.
And I just need space.
He needs his own room.
He has his own room.
Oh, okay.
My
I thought
son,
he had a small room.
it's small.
Right.
Look, you know what? Immigrants have lived in people. Please, you don't need a gigantic bedroom.
No. Oh, so you wouldn't move him into that other bedroom?
No, that would be my office.
Let's do comic of the week, shall we?
Wait a minute, I'm not done with my story.
I'm bored. No, go for it. Go,
Jackie,
For
I've sat through a few of yours.
it. I know. No, I'm right there for you.
Okay,
Let's hear it.
so she got very upset,
Sure.
and she said, "I now you know what it's like to have a daughter who hates me."
Well, it's interesting
then-
that she just found out that you're like, I don't hate you. I hate what you're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she said, "I am content here." And
I'm not moving.
Well, I just felt like
Did you tell her she has to be more likable?
no, she can't. Jackie, just stop. There's no fixing this. I can't.
Fair enough.
She's an 81-year-old woman. I have to help her put clothes on. She can't live alone. And the fact that she moved down here to help me with my kids, she did help out, and she does help out. Like, she's home when I dart out to do a spot. That counts, right? I talked her into it, even though she probably shouldn't have been living alone in a house anyway, right?
How did she get dressed when you were in Europe?
I think she had a tough time. So, anyway, now you've got me wondering. I'll ask her. Here's my point. She's very frail, and her legs are purple, and I just can't put her in an apartment around here. Not to mention the fact that it couldn't have any steps in it, and it's really hard to get an apartment, So that dream died very quickly. I was so happy in Europe, thinking I changed my life. So now, what I did is I got a trifold display. I got 2 of them from Target.
A what display?
It's cardboard that's kind of serrated on 2 edges so that it's like a trifold. Kids use it for projects, right?
Okay.
So I taped 2 of them together. So I created a wall.
Yep.
And I'm putting bits on it and just gonna try to have my own portable wall that folds up that no one can look at in my bedroom, and try to organize.
You turned part of your bedroom into an office. That's what you've done.
And try to organize a special from there, which isn't
Okay.
how I would want to do it, but I can't. I feel like I'm trapped in this situation because the alternative would be really damaging to a very old, frail person.
I'm not going to comment on that. I'm just going to say we should do comic of the week.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we could talk about how I can tell you. I have told loved ones that I still love them, but I don't like them.
Oh,
because they are mean.
Yeah,
And they are dumb. And they are making decisions that I will not support. But that's because they are adults, and they get to make decisions, their own decisions. But I said, you can make those, but I'm not going to help you make them. Like, I'm not going to give you money.
right.
And I'm not going to... Right.
I still can't leave my son alone to run out and do spots, in my opinion.
You used to have a nanny.
Right. I had a babysitter and
Right.
she moved. So, even though my mom is of no use and in a fire would, she'd slow everybody down. It's still, no one would be saved, right? But it's still,
You'd have to save her, but
it's
it
still
would be
somebody
fine.
there at the,
No, No. If you've made peace with it, make peace with it. But
I'm not at peace at all. I got angry today. I'm not at peace. I'm just going to have this roving anxiety and anger that's going to bubble up like every 4 days, and then that's going to be my life
your son
until
will
it's
be
not my
18
life.
and he will get to leave.
Yes.
And then you will still be here.
No,
So
no.
no. But it'll be whatever it is.
Yes.
Because that's where you're at. Mm-hmm. And all right then. Maybe there. You know what? Here's what I'm going to say.
What?
Maybe there's a lot of material in it.
Dude, that is the last thing I want to hear.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought I was doing a good thing.
No.
Okay.
Do you like that when you're in it? When people go, I bet you're going to write stuff about it.
Not when a
hate that.
civilian says it, but when a respected peer like myself,
Who should know better? Who should know better?
you want to call the show "Respected Peer"? I really like Joanne Schinderle. Can I please say that?
Yes.
Can I please say her name, hopefully correctly? Joanne Schinderle. Joanne, Joanne, Schinderle, Schinderle. But her Twitter handle is Joanne, Joann, no E, Elizabeth. I see what's happening there. She got rid of the E and just went with Elizabeth. So it's Joanne Elizabeth. It's in the notes. Anyway, she was very funny. I watched a couple of clips. She's a Portland comic.
Cool.
And she has a new album out called Dark Jeans.
Great.
On, I think, Blonde Medicine. I'm uncertain.
Stream, buy, check it out, request.
Yeah. Do all the things when you hear about a new comic on the Jackie and Laurie show.
Yes.
Yeah, do those things. Find Joanne, possibly Elizabeth Schinderle.
My mom's name is Joanne.
Is her middle name Elizabeth?
No.
It should be.
No. It's not.
We were discussing.
It's Marie. It's like that, of course.
Joanne Marie.
And yeah.
Oh yeah, that sounds nice. That's a nice. You know that middle names are relatively new.
Oh really?
Yeah, the people weren't doing them for a long time. It was only a fancy written. You had to afford it.
Oh.
And it turns out you save up, give your kid a middle name. I guess it's a.
Did it cost extra to add a name?
I don't know. You know that obituaries cost money.
I paid $2,000 for my dad's.
For your dad's?
Oh yeah, because I wrote a half a page obituary. I was like, he's going out with style.
Yeah,
and it was long and detailed and funny.
Did you keep it tight?
No, I didn't.
Do you get any editors? Did your sister?
No. I mean, it was the Contra Costa Times, and newspapers are desperate for anything right now, especially if you're going to pay them. So I'm like, give me the most words possible, and 2 pictures, giant pictures.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a total. It was gigantic. It was
at least in memoriam.
At least half the page, if not down to 3/4. Yeah.
It's when my stepmother died, Nancy Cation. My Uncle Greg sent me the obituary to okay it, and I edited it, added some words, did not know that it cost money to add to it. And so at the funeral, feet from her body, he asked me for $300. And I said, aren't you going to meet with my brother Russ and sort of split the cost of this and figure out money at lunch or something? And he's like, you don't have $300 on you?
On you?
I said, on me? I'm wearing a weird dress. I'm almost never wearing a dress. Yeah, exactly. It's I almost left right after that. And I left when Nancy's other sister showed up after the viewing part. There was a service that her sister Shelley did, and she was in robes with a giant cross, a big necklace cross, and I was like, oh, this is when Nancy would have left. And that's what I figure, is if that's when she would have left, that's when I left.
Speaking of crosses, I'm watching The Family on Netflix. Oh. It's about the secret Christian cabal that's running the world.
Isn't it
horrifying.
A documentary?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's a documentary.
It's a
because everyone kept telling me to watch it, and I was like,
this guy wrote a book. He was part of it for a little while, although not completely. Like he had some sort of reporter's mind, always writing things down, and so he wrote a book about it, and the documentary will act out some of the scenes, and then they will use actual footage from this guy Doug Coe, who was.
They do any pan and scan, little Ken Burns, zoom in and then scan a still photo.
I don't have a shot list with me, Jackie. I'm sorry. But
Maybe you could make no.
I mean, it's all men, and almost all of them are white, and their feeling about women is that they are there to serve men. And these are the people, because there's so many decisions where you're like,
Wait, they're not the Promise Keepers, are they?
they believe the same shit.
Okay.
It's not an official group. They specifically decided not to be a group because they didn't want to be caught. So they're just like doing this secret shit where they're like the National Prayer Breakfast was started by these motherfuckers, and like Bill Clinton's there, like they get everybody. That's the thing. Like I love Elizabeth Warren, but when she starts talking about her faith, I'm like, oh, you too? Isn't there anyone normal running for president that's like,
You know
I
what
don't
I
know
love about Elizabeth Warren is she's freaking running places. She's 70.
I know. No, she's
got more-
68, right?
I thought she was 70.
Whatever.
But I don't know.
She's great.
She might be 68. But
and
she's,
Pete Buttigieg, and
I
I'm like, I bet he would go to that fucking prayer breakfast. Could we get someone that doesn't go to a prayer breakfast? Please.
Right. Would you like someone who's living a separation of church and state? Is that what you would like? Interesting life choice that'd be nice. Oh, well. What are you doing this week?
I am in town. I'm doing. Who cares what I'm doing this week? I'm in Los Angeles doing stuff. But the week of August 28th, I'm at Rooster Teeth Feathers in Sunnyvale.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
I'm at the San Francisco Punchline in late October. I'm part of. I think all four of the headliners that month are all former San Francisco comics. So
Fun.
like Dana Gould's doing one, I think.
Excellent.
And I'll be at Helium in early October in Philadelphia. And I'll
Neat.
be at Vermont, the Burlington Comedy Club, in November. I think.
Wow. I
Anyway, if
booked
you're there.
Madison. For
Hey,
sure.
finally!
Yeah, it worked. Thank you, Michael Palasek, for switching weeks with me.
Oh, cool.
At Acme, because I'm doing back-to-back in December, Madison and then Minneapolis.
So great.
It'll be amazing. And then I'm in Denver in September.
Again?
I'm doing
Wow.
but this week I'm going to Phoenix. Well, I'm doing Drennan Davis's thing at the Dresden on tomorrow night, and then I'm doing that Twilight on the Pier. It'll be tonight when this drops.
Oh, cool.
And then I'm doing that Twilight on the Pier on Wednesday in Santa Monica. But then Thursday I go to Phoenix for the weekend with Steve Young,
Nice.
LA comic who now lives
Are
there.
you doing Stir Crazy?
Stir Crazy with Tommy. And super fun.
Yeah.
And so I'm wandering the earth. But looking forward to doing to working on the long set this
Yes.
weekend at Stir Crazy.
I have like 3 or 4 headlining weeks this fall, and I think I'll be able to put
That's
together
gonna
the
be
long
great.
set. Yes,
That's going to be great.
I'm doing on Thursday of this week on the 22nd. Kim Goldman. Did I tell you about this gig?
No.
It's this show in Santa Clarita, and it's to Kim Goldman. Her brother Ron was killed by O.J. Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
So she has a group where they
That's right.
they help survive, family members who've of trauma.
And Santa Clarita in the shadow of Magic Mountain.
Yes, it's not too far. And if you're up there, and Schubert's on the show, and I think Heather McDonald just was added to the show. It'll be a really great show, and all the profits go to this
To help
group.
the people. I think this weekend when I do the math on what happened, I have another 1,000 to donate from the Meat Shield T-shirt
Wow.
and pins.
Oh my God!
So
How
I
much
was,
so far this year?
This in the last 2 years, total it's $8,000.
Jesus,
Donated $8,000.
That's amazing.
So, I've been trying to figure out because I keep picking new places,
Right.
But I doubled up on Racist Texas
I was
because
just
of
going
the
to say
immigrant.
Raices, yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm thinking of either just sticking with them,
Yeah.
because they're the immigrant defense,
Right,
They're doing immigrant defense, and then or just ACLU, because I did ACLU and I did Black Lives Matter Sacramento,
Yeah.
and Adapt for sure, and then there was a Muslim defense, legal defense thing in Minneapolis I helped with.
Oh.
A women's Muslim, actually.
Cool.
A defense league in Minneapolis. And ADAPT is a disabilities rights group out of D.C. So
Doing good work, Jackie.
everyone's doing good work, and there's hope.
I finally got reimbursed for my Lyft rides for a gig in June this week.
So things are going well.
So I've been sending like gentle emails. Hey guys,
Yeah.
because their Lyft code that they gave me didn't work or whatever. So I just did it myself, and
You're like, just send me $100.
yeah, it was like $150
Yeah,
because
that's
it was
plenty.
way out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
but it just took so long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unnecessary angst because you
Right.
guys paid me. But I had to send you like 5 emails, and each one getting increasingly, more annoyed, but not too annoyed where I don't get fucking reimbursed.
Right. Some of these gigs, some of the interesting gigs these days are you have to write an invoice and send it to them, right?
Oh,
they
God.
want an invoice.
Right.
And they want things itemized and stuff. And I can do that. And I have been doing it. And it's just like whenever they tell me it, I always get this reaction of, yeah, no, for sure.
I'm like,
let me
I'd
find
rather
my
not get
articles
paid.
of incorporation.
Yeah, I mean, an invoice is just basically a letter stating your...
Please pay me this money. That's
Yeah.
all it is. And like I'm doing the Twilight on the Pier, they needed an invoice. And so
For how much?
It's 300, I think.
Okay.
So whatever.
Just enough to make it
Worthwhile.
worth the hassle of getting invoice header software. Like, don't you have to? I always felt like, I have to get software for this and have
I did
a
not get
design.
software. I did not have a design.
Laurie Kilmartin Industries.
I did, like 10 years ago, I made like a corporate template.
Yeah,
A corporate
right.
contract template. Mm-hmm. That was dumb. There's absolutely no one needs that.
know
They
how-
just need to know.
I mean, you and I are competent. I don't know how some of these comics fucking get paid if that's what you have to do.
Well, it's everybody has to learn several thousand jobs.
Yeah.
And so we're doing it. Hey, Kyle, is it time for another Max Fun break?
Certainly is.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, everybody. My name is Justin McElroy.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
We're both doctors, and
Nope, just me.
okay, well, Sydney's a doctor, and I'm a medical enthusiast, and we create Sawbones, a marital tour of misguided medicine.
Every week I dig through the annals of medical history to bring you the wildest, grossest, sometimes dumbest tales of ways we've tried to treat people throughout history.
And lately, we do a lot of modern fake medicine because everything's a disaster, but it's slightly less of a disaster every Friday, right here on MaximumFun.org, as we bring you Sawbones, a marital tour of misguided medicine. And remember,
Don't drill a hole in your head.
We did it. Another Max Fun break. Where are we at? And change? 45 minutes.
Well, you were under attack on Twitter.
Oh my God. What did I do? I forget what it was.
I think you may have a little shade towards Joe Rogan.
Oh,
right?
that's right. That's right. There was,
And then-
I didn't. It was like I said his name, but I didn't at him or anything.
Right,
And his
right.
people found me anyway.
Sure. And
All I said was that I thought Bernie Sanders should have been on Marin instead of Joe Rogan because Marin had Obama on, and it was weird because it was a big article.
both. It would be smart to do both.
Well, yeah, do the Dork Forest if you want to come on, Bernie. Come on down. But I thought it was interesting that
A former comic of the week just went
bananas.
bizarrely attacking you.
That was
I'm like-
weird.
I was like, what is happening?
Right.
And then
can we undo? Can we strike her from the records? No. I can't even remember who it was. But
I do, and I know her, and what, you want a name?
Yeah, right. I've
Okay.
read her name. I can't remember.
She's had some tough times. And so
Okay. Oh,
you know.
that's right. Because I remember asking you who she was, and you're
Right.
like,
Yeah.
I didn't know she was a comic of the week.
Yeah,
You said she's a comic.
Yes.
And she is. She had some tough times.
Right. Listen,
and I don't
Jackie,
care.
I know you don't care, but she and I had our babies almost the same day.
Oh,
so
that's neat.
we'll always you always have a bond, or you fucked a comic who's now disturbing. When you have that bond, it's harder
Yep.
to come down
Yep.
hard on against somebody. 'cause
Right, you
remember,
cut
hey,
some slack because you remember the open
get some
mics.
slack.
They get slack because you spent 3 years at an open mic with them.
Yeah. Whenever
You're
a
like,
female
all right.
comic doesn't give the necessary shade to a male comic who's done something bad,
Right.
they fucked.
Oh,
That's my opinion.
yes.
That is totally my opinion.
That's your opinion about this lady?
About what? No, about These two. That's my thoughts.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And that's, of course, makes you want to go, I need a bath. Because
Jackie, no one has taste in their early 20s.
Do you know?
You don't know
remember
what you're...
what Tina Fey said? And I think it has never been put any better.
Who's not a stand-up, by the
Who's
way.
not a
But go
stand-up
ahead.
comedy. She said, but it applies in this case, which is that genius is not sexually transmitted.
True. Well, you know what? Tina Fey had great parents who instilled excellent values in her. She really did. I mean, she
seemed to be raised real right.
She was raised right.
It was kind of
also,
nice.
She's the victim of a horrific attack when she was a child.
Oh, that's right.
And she came out okay. I wouldn't have, with my parents, if I had had that attack, I would not be remotely well, even right now. Right?
Oh, my parents would have abandoned me. They would have just left me in a trench somewhere.
So they swooped in and they took care of her, and she turned out to be a very smart, competent person who totally believes in herself. Well, all the people, I'm going to say a lot of us who like doing stand-up didn't have that kind of background, okay? That's for improv people, okay? Stand-up people were
this
a
is
different
sweeping,
breed.
but I get what you're saying.
Right. So a lot of women and a lot of female comics in their 20s
Fuck some dumb people.
fuck the people that they want to be as funny as, right?
But we've talked about this before. I have never fucked people that I thought were funnier than me. I only wanted to fuck people that I was slightly funnier than, that were as funny as me, but not funnier.
Jackie, we all have our own formula.
Right. Would you like to hear my algorithm?
Yes.
Because these are the people that I wanted to fuck because I know that I'm as funny or funnier.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
No.
you don't have a leg to stand on.
I can't.
You do not have a leg to fucking stand on.
During his height, he was the best looking man you've ever seen.
Oh, no.
You're a mad woman.
How dare you?
I would like to dare you.
How dare both of you?
We would like to dare both
I
of you.
have great memories. And I will live on those memories when I'm an old woman.
And touch yourself. That's fine. I'm going to buy tinfoil futures.
Fucking hot.
It is haunting. But you like a fella. You like you like there's a look.
Lori, I have to
You got one?
Okay.
I just need a yes or a no.
Oh, come on.
Okay, say that again.
I just need a yes or a no from Lori.
Okay.
Oh my god. Where?
Wait.
Oh, that person.
No.
Who is that?
He's more handsome.
Oh God.
Oh, yeah. But
No.
At that point, I was too old to. I'd
You
lost
knew better?
my.
You knew better?
Yes, I
You
knew
were
better.
like, I'm bored
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Well, that's why neither of this happened. It's because
Oh.
I knew better.
Definitely woulda
Yeah.
if I coulda.
Oh, everyone
yes.
would have.
I would have.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Yeah, we all would have. But the thing about that
Yes.
is I wouldn't have because he was funnier than I was.
Oh.
What I would have done, because here's the one that I liked, but I would not have.
Audience is losing their minds.
Yeah.
No, Jackie.
Yeah. No, I didn't want to because he was funnier than me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Okay.
It's I was like, no. Much like many a male comic who will not sleep with a woman who's funnier than I, Jackie Cation, will not sleep with a comic funnier than
Can
me.
I say-
these two guys? Fine.
Your tastes are surprisingly alt comedy,
Yeah.
and my tastes are tragically a little alt right. I'm not proud.
I wouldn't even
am
go
not
so far
proud.
as to say a little hacky. Because the thing is because this guy, you could not be funnier than this guy. That's why you want to sleep with him, because he was not funny. You were always funnier than that
Oh,
guy.
thank you.
Yeah, always.
Well, I didn't think so.
At your birth. At your birth. You were smarter, funnier. Anyway.
But
we can let it go.
acknowledge that there are comics now when they were starting out, when they were earlier, when they were younger, they were a lot funnier and they had a lot more potential to be something. And then as things happen,
Right.
here's what I mean. As people get older, things happen. They make choices. They either get funnier or they get hackier.
Here's someone I'm willing to sleep with now.
No, what the?
Because he aged well, he got funnier.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
That's it.
Recently, he's pretty hot.
Really?
Yeah, it's all working out. And I'm going to say his name.
Okay.
Sinbad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That
Okay.
guy, when I first saw his work 30 years ago,
Right.
I was like, eh. And which, of course, he doesn't need to hear me say that. I'm sure nobody tell him. Jesus H. Christ. There's no reason for any sort of alerting anyone.
The happy
But
ending of this story is that now you want to fuck him.
now he is super attractive and fucking hilarious. Have you
great.
seen his sets lately?
I have not.
Solidly funny, smart, silly, just a fucking goofball.
Okay.
Right, and super handsome. And
Didn't
has
he always
aged
dress
very
well for his time? Like very
No, he was
reflective
kind of a sloppy dude.
the moment. But everyone did at that point.
He was wearing tracksuits, but but he is actually much more dapper now.
Okay.
And you are correct. And always, the headwear hit and miss with me. Headwear, I'm like, I don't need a hat on a guy always, and I'm all right. I'm all right. And if you're gonna wear a hat, like if you guys who wear fedoras,
Yeah.
and then they wear them inside the house.
Yeah.
Yes, Jake, I'm talking to you. Take off because he might be listening. Aw, I know.
Jackie coming out swinging against hats. Who expected that? I thought we were winding down.
I know, but here in the last 15 minutes, we're finally bringing the funny. Who knew it was revolver on headwear? No, because I do like Jake's hats. I like Paul F. Tompkins' hats. I've liked these people's hats, but I'm like, if you're going to be the guy who wears a hat like it's 1960, those guys took those hats off inside buildings.
Who does Natasha wears hats, right?
Ruggiero.
But is she the only female comic that wears hats?
Lampanelli used to wear headwear.
Right.
Yeah, but
like
I think she's doing motivational speaking now.
Yeah.
She's gone Kyle C.
She's gone. Oh my God. It's so. I kind of did a deep dive on her recently just to find out.
Just a rabbit hole to see what was happening. All right. Check her on Dogstar. And
oh, please.
Because maybe she's living off of her royalties. And
I wonder why she did that. She could have.
I think she stopped. This is what I heard. Scuttlebutt wise, I heard that she didn't like the mane anymore. She didn't like the character she created for herself, and she wanted out. And I was like, well, then just. I mean, I'm a huge fan of just, stop doing that. Which, of course, is the simple but not easy.
I mean, she used to be just a regular road comic before she kind of
Queen of Mean
did the Rickles-y sort of thing, right?
No. I think she was always the Rickles-y.
No. I'm saying she was. She was like out of Long Island. Yeah,
okay.
she was. She's a normal.
When she was coming up.
Yeah, normal kind of road comic, killing. She had a kill energy, and then she came up with this kind of device that worked really well. But I guess it wasn't her.
Right, she didn't want that to be her forever.
It was weird because she would always stay in character, like just hanging out. Like hey Lisa, what's up, you cunt? Like it's okay. It's just you and me.
We're just sitting around, man.
It didn't feel like real.
Right, she was just screwing around. Yeah.
It just felt like she was in character the whole time,
right.
and I was just like. It's me.
Yeah, let's just talk. What you reading anything good? Anyway.
So, I mean, you always run a risk when you decide to go all in on a character.
That's it.
Get that money and then get out, I guess, and then
That's
go to therapy.
What she did. And maybe she's doing that. Did she have a baby? Sometimes
No.
Sometimes she'll freak out and have a baby. People will have a baby.
Wow, thanks for describing my life.
But I thought
she lost a chunk of weight, and then that changed how she saw herself and felt about herself. And maybe she felt like she was this size, so she's just going to go in this direction, and now she's lost all this weight. She doesn't have to. I don't really know. But it's always, I mean, Kyle Cease makes a ton of money, right?
Yeah, it's all working out. Yeah,
Does he still? I don't know. I haven't checked up on him. See where he's playing.
I heard, I can't really. There was some talk over the weekend actually about Kyle, which I think is why it came up that he might have quit because there was some sort of scandal about his stand up, and it wasn't that he was that there was closers and there was some writing issues and some parallel thought that might not have been parallel thought.
Oh,
so I don't know that that's true. So right now, it's hearsay.
Well, I love
Everybody's
hearsay on a
always
podcast.
really nice to me. Here's what I always think is funny. What I always think is funny is that someone will say something about someone, and I'm like, oh, that person they'll say, that person is an asshole. And I'll say, they are always distantly polite to me, which is all I've ever wanted from anyone more successful than me. Like this guy.
Right.
This guy is never nice to anyone.
Yeah.
And he is always distantly polite to me.
Yeah, me too. I
Yeah.
get that too.
And I
Yes.
will take that, because I want to invite that guy to the house?
Yeah.
No, that's not happening.
I think he feels guilty because he's our age and we should be more successful than him, and he knows it.
I was surprised when he was pleasant to me.
I have to say that you are giving him a lot of credit for thinking of absolutely anyone else. But I like that maybe that's true. Maybe that's what he's like. He's a thoughtful guy going, it isn't fair that Jackie and Laurie don't have any Netflix specials and I have a half a dozen of them and a Scrooge McDuck pile of money.
Well,
Anyway, we're probably at an hour.
57.
Ah, son of a gun.
here's the thing. We have to name this podcast Gets Funnier Than It Started. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because I think
yeah?
we did get into...
You don't like Day Old Banana? And I went with Every Day We Lose Something.
Doing the stuff we do after the podcast right now.
Right now we're just sort of...
Well, it lets
that is a lot
it lets
faster.
the listener
That made me
in
laugh.
on
the
behind the scenes.
This is how the sausage is made, you
Yeah,
guys.
it's riveting
like,
to them.
Like this entire podcast isn't sausage.
It's all pieces of gross meat that we shove into casing every single week.
What I did like about sharing essentially a comedy condo, an Airbnb, with
Right.
Chris Fairbanks and Caitlin Gill over the weekend is neither one of them seemed to want to watch any television either.
So
So we would, and granted, we'd done a lot of driving. We would get back from the show, and then we would all go to our rooms. And I'm like, all right, see you tomorrow. And I get up in the morning, and I would wake up at around 8.
Yeah.
And I had the massage chair in my room.
Oh, right.
And I was like, anytime after 8, if you guys want to come in, use the massage chair, you're welcome to do it. And the two of them were like, 8? What are you doing up at 8? And I was like, playing Marvel Puzzle Quest until 10. And then the coffee would be made.
I had a show this week where the audience wasn't that good. Mm-hmm. And then I hung around the club for 20 minutes making sure other comics didn't do well.
Just to make sure that it was them and not
Yeah.
you?
Yes.
How did that work out for you?
Well, the first guy comes off and I was like, they sucked, right? And he's like, he goes, yeah, they weren't great. And I was like, all right, good. And then somebody else comes off and I'm like, what'd you think of that crowd? I didn't help
Right.
her. I go, what'd you think of that crowd? They were great. And I was like, fuck you. And I stormed out.
Oh, that's good. So the show in Petaluma was tight. The audience was super tight.
Right.
So Caitlin goes up. They're all super supportive. There were a bunch of friends of hers from grade school, and oh no, that was the San Francisco one. This was her parents were in the crowd, but it was mostly just people from Petaluma.
Yeah.
And it was they were a great crowd, but they were tight.
Right.
And so I got up after she went up, and they were so fucking tight that in the middle of my set, I'm like, oh, I gotta go to the vault. They're killing me. So I do Spooky Reading Girl, and then I try some more new stuff, or the stuff I'm working on, and they get tight again. And so then I got to close on the tantric sex bit. And so I get off stage, and I was like stomping around a little bit, clump, 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 clump.
Yeah.
And Chris goes, how are they? And I was like, and you don't ever want to say to anyone that they aren't good before someone goes up. You want to say, they're going to love you. That's all you want to say. No, don't fucking reinvent the goddamn wheel.
I don't know about that.
Why sucker punch them?
Because what if after the first joke, they don't love them? They're like, what? Jackie said they were going to love me. I guess I'm not lovable.
Wow. We have a different...
we're
really are
different people.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Audience supported.